Hello everyone, Godre here, and this is my money brief. On today's money brief, I want to talk about inflation and to a large extent, exchange rate. I don't want to make this money brief all about exchange rate because I know the last few episodes have been about exchange rate, but it's more about inflation. But there's an exchange rate ring to it. So there's something that has been on my mind for a bit now, and it's been giving me like sleepless nights for some months now. And I just want to bring it to the fore here. I just want to bring it here and let me hear your thoughts. So I've been tracking prices of goods and services in Nigeria compared to European countries and even like in the US. I've been doing that for some months. So for example, if you wanted to take an Uber ride, maybe a 30 minutes Uber ride or thereabout, you probably pay like $40, $50. And if you're unlucky, it could be $80 if it's like peak period. In Nigeria, we'll call it surge. And so if you convert $50 to Naira, that's like 80,000 Naira. I don't think there's anywhere you're going to in Lagos, for example, that you pay 80,000 Naira. Like, I don't know where. If you guys have experienced anything like that, do let me know. But I do enter, Bolt and Uber, and I don't think I've paid that much. So, and let's even talk about water, ordinary things like water. So water, bottle of water, maybe in Nigeria, 150, 250, depending on where you're buying it from. Maybe if you're in a club, 1.5. But a bottle of water like this small bottle of water, it's probably like $2 in Europe. Maybe in London, it's probably like £2 or £2.20 or so. And in the US, it's probably like $2.50. Cheapest $1.50. A dollar is like 1.6. So I mean that puts into perspective. So you can't buy water for 1.6 in Nigeria in a regular supermarket. It's not, I don't know, except you're buying maybe a pack. So just to put that into perspective, right? I've used Uber, let's even use hotels. So a hotel, like a regular boutique hotel, say like, which popular ones do we know in Lagos? So maybe Moving Peak, which used to be Southern Sun, or a hotel, or any of those places, you probably would get a decent room for between 150,000 and 250,000 naira. Decent room in those like top hotels. If you're gonna get a boutique hotel abroad, be ready to part away with like cheapest $150. Again, $100 is what? 160,000 naira, so $150, you're looking at over 200,000 naira. I said cheapest. Most time, you'll likely even see it at $200. And so that's why when Nigerians, Nigerians who live abroad, when they come back, things are usually cheap for them here because, they don't have to pay that much. But we do pay a lot here, when you compare to Nigeria, it seems like it's just crazy. And so that's been getting me worried. I'm like, why is that happening? Like, why are things so cheap here compared to abroad? Because that kind of sounds like if things are really cheap here compared to abroad, then it looks like things could even get more expensive here. And that's my worry. It kind of looks like we haven't even gotten to the end of it yet. Like things can actually get more expensive than it is now. Because when you compare the price, from abroad to Nigeria, it looks like people haven't really increased your price. And that's why it kind of looks like we haven't even seen the last of inflation. Like things can actually even get more expensive. And that's why I'm very worried. And that's what is just driving me nuts. Like things can actually get more expensive. But let's even flip it, let's even flip this thing. So I was reading a document, a report from an organization, and that they kind of suggest exchange rates should even be around 1,001 to the dollar. And it kind of sounds funny, but their argument was that if you use PPP, purchasing power parity, then the exchange rate is probably, Nigerian exchange rate as it is today, is undervalued. So it won't make sense because official rate is 1.6. And like I've always said, price is always different from value. Never mix price and value. That's two different things. Price is a function of demand and supply, right? Value is about the intrinsic content of something, like what that thing is really worth, the intrinsic worth of something. And intrinsic means like the true worth. Like, for example, if it really cost me 1,000 naira to make these glasses, and maybe I just factor in my profit, 1,215, say I even put 50% markup, 1,5 is what I think I want to sell it. That's the intrinsic value of these glasses. Because the cost, the materials and everything, anybody else who tries to do the same thing will spend the same 1,000 naira. So if they add maybe profit and margin, 1,005. For example, that's the intrinsic value of the glasses. But if because the glasses just has a brand name, it goes Dre, and I'm trying to make so much noise about it, and people like, they want to be associated with it, then I can sell it for 5,000. You see, that's different. But the intrinsic value is still 1,5. I wanted to use that example so that you can understand the difference between price and value. So the value of the reports were suggesting that the value of the Naira against the dollar should be like 1,000, 1,001. But the price today is 1,600, and that's a function of demand and supply, because the more demand there is compared to supply, prices tend to go higher, right? And it's usually not sustainable, even though it can be like that for a long time, so long as supply is not there. And so their argument was that the exchange rate should be like 1,000 naira to the dollar or thereabouts, but nothing close to 1,600. Now, back to my inflation discussion, that argument might make some sense, because think about it. Let me bring out my phone. So if a dollar is 1,600 today, and this bottle of water is $1, so it means it should be 1,600 in naira, and it's probably like 600 naira, 500 naira, 400 naira. Their argument is that shows that the naira is hugely undervalued, because even if you add labor cost, which is really the difference between why things are more expensive there than here, if you convert to naira, because they earn more than we do. If you even adjust for that and use what is called purchasing power parity, then it should be, because if it's like $1 to 1,000 naira, then that water should be like 1,000 naira, which is still better than 1,600. And that's the argument. And so if the naira was stronger than it is today, then maybe we won't be this worried. But it isn't, it's weaker. And that's even a problem, because it kind of looks like things might even get more expensive. So another argument is that, or another school of thought also suggests that it's an income problem we have, that things are more expensive abroad than in Nigeria. Look, things are more expensive. All you need to do is just take a trip abroad. Things are relatively more expensive than it is in Nigeria, even though we're experiencing serious inflation. So it's probably because our exchange rate is very weak. And then the other argument is that our income is also very low. Like, we really earn poorly in Nigeria. And it could be a combination of the two rather. It could be the three. So it could be, which is the third thing. It could be inflation. It could be the exchange rate being too weak, which means it's undervalued, and our income is too low. So that's the third reason. So a combination of the two. So the total shot is, look, what I'm all saying in a nutshell is that things can even get more expensive, which is why I'm very worried if we don't sort out this supply issue. That's why our exchange rate is getting weak. I also think that, the value of the naira is nowhere close to what it is now. I think the naira should be more valued than that. But we can't fix this price thing if we don't fix supply. And so supply just has to go up. I know the CBN is trying to also fix this price thing, supply thing, by increasing interest rates. I hope that works, but we got to sort out the supply issue. Demand, I don't know. We can't, because one of the ways that you can reduce demand to match up with supply, but I don't think that works anyway. So we've got to find a way of increasing that supply. Then maybe we could get the real value of Naira. But if we don't do that quickly, then I kind of think that things will even get more expensive. Sounds crazy, right? That's my own logic. If you disagree or you have a better comment, as I always say, please, better idea or better explanation, please hop to the comment section. Let me hear from you. All right, guys, I have to drink some water. Do have a profitable day ahead. Bye.